But while we wait, you can turn to page 340 in your prayer book, your Siddur, and when we call out page numbers, it'll be black. You'll see black and blue. We're going to be only referring to the black page numbers. Shabbat Shalom, everybody. Welcome. We'll begin on page 340, Hine Matov. Hine Matov Manayim Shevet Achim Gam Yachad. Hine Matov Manayim Shevet Achim Gam Yachad. Hine Matov Shevet Achim Gam Yachad. Hine Matov Shevet Achim Gam Yachad. Hine Matov Manayim Shevet Achim Gam Yachad. Hine Matov Manayim Shevet Achim Gam Yachad. We'll turn to page 341, Lo Yisagoy. This is a very easy opening part to sing. We're a singing congregation, so do please join in on any melodies that you recognize. So for this, all you have to say is A and O. So even if you don't have a good voice or know Hebrew, A and O, you at least know your vowels. A, O, O, A. That's it. A, O, O, A. One more time like that. A, O, O, A to the words. Lo yisagoy el goy cherev, lo yilmedu od milchama. Lo yisagoy el goy cherev, lo yilmedu od milchama. Ayo, ayo, o,
Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat is the Sabbath. Shalom is peace. It's hello and goodbye also. So we welcome people by saying Shabbat Shalom. I say it and you respond back. Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. Now I feel the warmth and love. Welcome to Congregational RME. You met Cantor Kyle already. I'm Rabbi Paul Kipnis. We're thrilled to have all of you who are worshiping with us here in the sanctuary and all of you who are worshiping via the live stream. If you're coming through via the live stream, please leave a note in the chat who you are, where you're streaming from, so we can share the joy with the family. We're going to be in this sanctuary space for about 90 minutes. If you need to use the restrooms, they're right behind that wall, but don't use the door right here. Just go back through this glass door that you walked in. Immediate left and down the hallways are the bathrooms. If you need a glass of water or something, out to the right behind the dividers is a filtered water faucet, and there should be some cups around there. We are a very, very family-friendly place. Notice a little baby coming, love it, okay? I'll probably grab the baby and hold that lovely one for a little while. But if the kid gets, any of the young ones get shpilkas, they can't quite sit still, or parents get shpilkas and want to use the kids as an excuse to get out of services, that room right there, Children's Sanctuary, you can just flip on the light, close the door. It's soundproof. There's games, toys, books. Just for the littlest one, everything may not be exactly baby.
And there's sound pipe there as well, so you can still hear the service.
All of it. So you have all those options. But we're not pushing you out. We're just giving you options. For everybody else, this would be a great time to take out your cell phone and make sure it is on silent, stun, or off. I find that the cell phone that goes off during the service is the one that you are 100% sure right now is off. You don't want to be that person. So check your cell phones. If you're like over 50 like I am, you have to check your cell phone. okay, because it's that never lands well. I'm going to get rid of that joke. Okay, and with that, I'm going to invite Mom and Dad to join us up here on the bima. Come on up. You two. Breathe. So, this moment is a beginning. It's a Shehachianu moment that we'll talk about in a minute. It's a start of a next part of your journey. You are moving into adulthood. You're not a woman yet. You're not an adult yet. You're getting there. Back in the day, at 13, you were there. Today, it gets a little longer. But you're starting that trajectory. And as Jews, the way we start it is being up here on this bima and connecting with our ancient traditions. And one of the first ones we do is we dress up. We put on a talit. It's just a cloth. But with the fringes on the corners, it becomes, these are tzitzit. They're reminders of the 613 mitzvot, commandments in Torah. To live a Jewish life, yeah, but to live an honest, ethical, moral life, which I know you strive for. Now, in a moment, you'll take this talit and wrap it around your shoulders. And when you do, you're wrapped in their love. You're wrapped in the love and support of all these people gathered here, including the ones on the live stream, all of them here. You're wrapped in God's loving arms, we say also. Whenever you put on this talit, wherever you are, you're brought back to this moment and propelled forward into life. So take the talit from the hands of your mom and dad. Turn back and let's say the blessing.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehit atef batzitzit.
Blessed are you, Adonai, our God, guide of the universe, who makes us holy through mitzvot and commands us to wrap ourselves in the fringes of the talit. So you remember holding this little baby in your hands all those years ago? And you just sort of lay there. And then over time, she had the nerve to like roll over on her own and then start crawling and get up on all fours and then start walking and running and going out into the world and taking it over. And now this little baby is your baby who's growing up. And we want to hold on to these moments, these special moments. We want to raise them up as holy moments. And we do it with words in which we thank God for giving us life, for keeping us in life, and for bringing us to this special occasion. If you turn to page 344, the second prayer down is Shehachianu. And we invite you, if you know it, to sing along with us.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam shehecheanu v'kiyamanu v'higianu lazman hazeh
For the next prayer, I do want to mention this is your grandfather David's talit, the door of a door from generation to generation we connect. We're going to turn in our prayer books to page 26 and 27. Just a quick word about our book. Mishkan Tefillah, creates a tent of prayer. We have in this room Jews, maybe Christians, Muslims, Buddhists. Last night we had a whole bunch of Baha'i. We have, of the Jews, Reform, Conservative, Reconstructionists, maybe Orthodox, secular Jews, people who go to church or temple or synagogue or mosque, wherever, all the time, some who go very rarely. How do you create a spiritual moment? This prayer book is designed for that. Every 2 pages is one prayer. 26 and 27 are the Chatzi Kaddish. Our Bat Mitzvah is going to chant the Hebrew on the right-hand side of the right-hand page. You are encouraged, invited to chant along with her, either using the Hebrew or look just to the left, those English letters, Yit Kadav, Yit Kadash, Shemei Rabbah. That's the transliteration. At the bottom of the page, just under the Hebrew, you'll see the translation, Exalted and hallowed be God's great name. On the left-hand page, you'll find some prayers, usually in English, that are on the same theme but look at God or life and spirituality a little differently. And then on the bottom of the pages, like on 26 under the line, you'll see some commentary either on this prayer specifically or prayer in general. So here's the idea. Surf your way through the pages. Find something that's meaningful to you. You can always sing lie, lie, lie. You can always just sit and smile. Don't frown. Smile is better. And we'll tell you when we're ready to move on. We'll announce the page so we're all kind of on the same page. So now for the Chadzi Kaddish, if you're able to, please rise for Chadzi Kaddish.
Yigadol ve'yidkadash shemei Rabbah be'alma divrach yir'utei ve'amlich malchutei v'chayechon uvyomechon uchaye dechol beit Yisrael Bagala, Bagala, Uvizman Kariv, Ve'imeru, Amen. Yehei Shmei Rabba Mevarach, Le'alam Ulamei Almaya, Yitbarach, Yitbarach, Ve'yishtabach, Ve'yit Pa'ar, Ve'yit Romam, Ve'yit Naseh, Ve'yit Hadar, Ve'yit Aleh, Ve'yit Halal, Shemei de Kudesha, Barichu, La'ela, Min Kol Birchata Ve'shirata, Tushbecha Davenechemata, Da'amiram Be'alma, Ve'imeru, Amen.
We're on page 28. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la.
Barechu et Adonai Hamevorach.
Baruch Adonai Hamevorach, Hamevorach leolam va'ed. Hamevorach, Hamevorach leolam va'ed. We can be seated and turn to page 35. If you're lost, you feel afraid, and you don't know what to say, then listen, listen to our God. Is there a question on your mind? Is the answer hard to find? Then listen, listen to our God. Listen with all your heart and soul, and with all your might. Write them and learn them and teach them well every morning and night. Close your eyes and listen. Quiet yourself, there's nothing to say. Stop all the chatter that gets in the way and listen, listen to our God. When the wind and the thunder finally disappear, there's still a voice that you can hear if you listen. Listen to our God. You can hear it from the top of the highest hill or from the valley below. It can come from the edge of the universe. It can come from within your soul. Close your eyes and listen. Please rise and join me for Shema at the bottom of the page. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kevod Malechuto Leolam Avoed. Listen to our God. Listen to our God. We're on page 36.
ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבביך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודך. והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך, ושינתם לבניך, ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך, וקשרתם לאות על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותי, והיות קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיהם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם.
Page 40.
Ya la la ya la la ya la 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 ya la la ya la la ya la 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 la.
מי כמוך בעלים אדוני, מי כמוך נדר בקודש, נורא תהילות עושי פלא, נורא תהילות עושי פלא, מלכותך ראו בניך, עושי היום לפני משה ומרים, אמרו ואמרו אדוני
la la ya la la ya la 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 ya la la ya la la ya la 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 la. Page 40. 44. 40 plus 4. 44.
ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורתם ברית עולם. ביני ובין בני ישראל אותי לעולם, אותי לעולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורתם ברית עולם. כי ששת ימים עשה אדוני, עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורתם ברית עולם. וביום השביעי שבת וינפש, שבת וינפש, שבת וינפש. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורתם ברית עולם.
We're on page 48 for the Amidah. Kira's going to lead us. We'll rise and recite together on page 48. Yai lai, yai lai, lai la lai, yai lai, lai la lai, yai lai, lai la lai, yai lai, yai lai, lai la lai, yai lai, lai 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 lai.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu Ve'Elohei Avotenu ve'Imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Ve'Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Ve'Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor ve'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomer Chasadim Tovim Vekonei Hakol, Bezocher Chasdei Avot V'imaot, Umevi Geula Livnei B'neihem, Lema'an Shemo Be'ahava, Melech Hozer Umoshia Umagen, Baruch Atah Adonai, Magen Avraham, Ve'ezrat Sarah. Yai lai lai la lai, yai lai lai la lai, yai lai lai la lai, yai lai, yai lai lai la lai, yai lai lai la lai. Page 50. Atah Gibor Le'olam Adonai, Mechayei Hakol Atah Rav Lehoshia, Mechakel Chaim Bechesed, Mechayei Hakol Berachamim Rabim, Somech Noflim Verofei Holim, Umatir Asurim, Umechayei Emunato Lishenei Afar, Michamocha Baal Gevurot, Umido Melach, Melech Memit, Umechayeh, Umatzmiah Yeshua, V'ne'eman atah lehachayot akol, Baruch atah Adonai, Mechayeh
Hakol. Yai lai lai la lai, yai lai lai la lai, yai lai lai la lai, yai lai, yai lai lai la lai, yai lai lai la lai lai.
Turn to page 52. And in the middle of the page, let's read the English together. You are holy, your name is holy, and those who are holy praise you every day. Blessed are you, Adonai, the holy God. Baruch atah Adonai ha'el hakadosh. We'll take a few moments for silent prayer, praying either the words through page 60 in the prayer books or those in your heart. Whenever you're ready, whenever you want to, you may be seated.
Shalom bimromav hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'imeru amen. Oseh shalom bimromav hu ya'aseh shalom Aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'imeru amen.
Zach? Mom and Dad? Okay, and we'll call up Grandma Ellen and Ann. And Grandma Jan, Grandpa Wayne, Lonnie, Nana, and Candy. And to help us open the ark, we call up Uncle Joe and Uncle Sam. Please rise. Who's Sam? Uncle Sam. Oh, sir. Ooh, that was funny. Uncle Sean and Uncle Joe. Please rise as we remove the Torah from the ark.
Ki mitzion tetzeh Torah, Ki mitzion tetzeh Torah, udevar Adonai mirushalayim, Baruch shenatan Torah, Torah, Baruch shenatan Torah, Torah, le'amo Yisrael b'kedushato.
Kira, V'zot HaTorah, this is the Torah. V'zot HaDakan, this is the moment we're going to pass it to you. Look at this moment. Hold on to this moment. I know you're a little nervous. We all get nervous. But it's exciting too. You are surrounded on one side by your brother who you love dearly most of the time, your parents, and all these grandparents. And you have also Grandpa Mike, who couldn't be here, but we feel his love. And we remember your grandfather David, who died before you were born, but whose talit you wear. All these people adore you. All these people uphold you. All these people are here to celebrate you. And we celebrate you in many ways, one of which is to give you this Torah that will pass down midor lador from generation to generation. As you know, this is one heavy Torah. Heavy because physically it is the heaviest I've ever held in my life. But it's heavy also because its ideas are heavy. We live in a world that teaches us, you've heard me say, that it's all about being happy. Torah says happiness is good, but we've been put on this earth also to strive to be holy. We live in a world that says it's all about getting rich, making money. And Torah says money's good, but always remember that you've been given what you have in part to help enrich the lives of others. And we live in a world that is so broken, so messed up. You know that. We all know that. And part of it is because we think it's all about me. I can do what I want. But Torah says we've been put on this earth for a higher purpose, to transform this world into a place filled with emet, truth, and tzedek, justice, to fill it with ahava, with love, so it will be a place filled with shalom, with peace. I know you have shoulders broad enough to hold this responsibility, a mind wise enough, incisive enough, and a heart open and compassionate enough to use Torah for goodness and kindness. V'zot hadakah, this is the moment. V'zot haTorah, that we pass it to you.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad, Echad Eloheinu, Gadol Adonenu, Kadosh Shemo. Romemu Adonai Eloheinu vehishtachavu lehar kodsho. Romemu Adonai Eloheinu vehishtachavu lehar kodsho. Ki kadosh Adonai Eloheinu romemu. Kadosh Adonai Eloheinu romemu. Romemu Adonai Eloheinu vehishtachavu lehar kodsho.
To help us undress the Torah, we call up cousins Griffin and Phoebe. Come on up to
Romemu Adonai Eloheinu vehishtachavu lehar kodsho. Kadosh Adonai Eloheinu romemu. Ki Kadosh Adonai Eloheinu romemu.
Please be seated. You're about to witness a miracle. Nothing less than a miracle. We've all seen miracles. If you've watched a baby be born, come into this world, or even held a baby when they're the youngest, it is miraculous. We know how the science works most of the time, which it works most of the time, not always. But wow. You ever note someone who's gone into the depths of addiction and then with the help of 12 steps or whatever made their way out and through? That is miraculous. Have you ever been down by the beach when the sun is setting and it turns those purples and violets and then orange and yellow? Oh, that orange. God painting with a paintbrush. That is miraculous. It's there to make us stop and recognize the beauty and blessings in this world, to stop running around. And this is miraculous too. First of all, in a minute, we're going to read the 10 Commandments, and that's going to be awesome. But even before that, she had to learn Hebrew, to read it with vowels, to chant the Torah portion with the musical notes called te'amim. And then because there's no vowels in the Torah, we took those away, and there's no musical notes, we took those away. And then she had to get it in such a way she's comfortable doing it here from the Torah. What you're going to see is ancient words written somewhere between 2,500 and 5,000 years ago, brought to life again by a thoroughly modern woman. And to help us, we're going to invite okay, a little too much? Okay. Not modern?
Much.
Okay, a little bit.
If
Okay.
anyone's met me, they know I'm not modern.
Okay, not modern. Cool, wonderful?
Yeah, I am kind of wonderful. But
Wonderful. We'll go with wonderful. By a truly wonderful woman. So, we're going to invite up a number of relatives for an Aliyah Torah to physically come up here on the beam and be close to Torah, our spiritual source book. I have the Hebrew and transliteration here and in English for those who want it, and Farsi also if you're looking for that. Hold on one second. Okay. So for the first Aliyah.
For the first Aliyah, we call to the Torah Daryl and Dave. Nala Amod le'Aliyah Rishona.
Baruch Hu et Adonai Hambarach.
Baruch Adonai
Baruch Adonai Hambarach le'olam va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bachar banu mikol ha'amim v'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch atah Adonai noten ha'Torah.
Amen. Now watch. Go ahead. Say.
Amen. Vayedaber Elohim et kol hadevarim ha'ele lemor. Anachi Adonai Elohecha asher hotzeticha me'eretz Mitzrayim מבית עבדים לא יהיה לך אלוהים אחרים על פניי לא תעשה לך פסל וכל תמונה אשר בשמיים ממעל ואשר בארץ מתחת ואשר במים מתחת לארץ. ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם אשר נתן לנו תורת אמת וחיי עולם נטע בתוכנו. ברוך אתה אדוני נותן התורה.
Amen. Give her a hug.
second aliyah, we call to the Torah Ellen, Ann, Jan, and Wayne. Nala amod le'aliyah shniya.
And Lonnie. Grandma Ellen, Ann, Grand Jan, Grandpa Wayne, and Nani Lonnie. Come on over here. Nana Lonnie. Okay. Let me have her get ready. So we are chanting the words of the Ten Commandments, and the tradition is that just like at Mount Sinai, our people were standing at the base of the mountain experiencing this awesome event where these words, these guideposts of how to live our lives were shared with us. Since our people were standing then, the tradition is that when the Ten Commandments are read, we stand in the synagogue. If you are able, you'll stand. The little ones, if you're holding, you don't. You'll figure it out. If you have to sit back down, you sit back down. God knows what's in your heart. So if you're able to, we invite you to please rise as we get ready for the blessing of the Aliyah.
It's you and me, honey.
You got it. 1,
2, 3. Baruch hu et Adonai hamvorach. Baruch Adonai hamvorach elam va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bahar banu mikol ha'amim v'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah. Amen.
Amen. Lo tishtachave lahem v'lo ta'odem ki Anochi Adonai Elohecha Elkanah Pokeid Avon Avot Abanim Al Shileshim Ve'al Ribeim Lisona Ve'oseh Chesed La'alafim Le'ohavai Ushamrei Mitzvotai Lo Asher Lo Tisa Et Shem Adonai Elohecha Lasav Ki Lo Yinakeh Adonai Et Asher Yisa Et Shmo Lasav.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher natan lanu Torah emet v'chayei olam natan b'tochenu. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen. Okay, hold this for a second. Give them a hug, the kids. You guys stay up here after she does that. Stay right here. Okay. Get a couple more hugs. Come stand right here. Now, come here right here. Stand right here. Come close. Come over here. Stay right there. Okay. Be seated for a sec, please. Just wait. Take a look at these people, okay? You're going to get all sorts of gifts this weekend, but these are the most precious gifts you're ever going to receive. When you were a young kid, maybe like most kids, you received a gift and you opened it, the package, and you took out the gift, and then you put it away and started playing with the packaging. You should do that every so often. These are the gifts. All the other things are the dressings and whatever. Why are they the gifts? These are people who, many of them, remember you when you were just born, held you as a baby, loved you from the minute they met you. And the ones who met you later on in life fell in love with you so quickly. These people know things about the world and about life that you're only starting to experience. When you go through the ups and downs of life, these are people you can talk to. Say, what was it like when you were my age? All those things. Find out the goods and the bads, the hards, how they got through it. They're pretty whole and pretty together. These are people who remember things that were only in the history books that you read about, but they can tell you firsthand what it was like. They remember the early years of Israel. Not so early, but the first couple of decades. They remember the world as it was. They remember your mom and dad when they were young and cool. They're pretty cool still, but these are people who will love you unconditionally. That's your job, folks. Love unconditionally, and will be there for you no matter what. So you'll go unwrap all those presents you'll get, and you'll celebrate all that. But they're here now, and with your grandpa who's in memory care now, the world goes by quickly, and they're here today, and then they're not. So they're here. Take advantage of them. Love them. Learn from them. And enjoy the gifts of having grandparents. Give them one more hug, and then they'll go sit down.
For the third Aliyah, we call to the Torah Bridget and Evan. Nala amod Aliyah Shlishit, Avram ben Dovish ve'et Aleah.
If you're able to, we invite you to please rise. You're right here. One, you, them, you, them.
Baruch hu et Adonai hambarak.
Baruch Adonai Hambarach le'olam va'ed.
Baruch Adonai hambarak le'olam va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bachar banu mikol ha'amim v'natan lanu et torato. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen. Okay. You want to sing? You go there. You come right in here.
Amen. Zachor et Yom HaShabbat lekadsho sheishet yamim ta'avod ve'asita kol melachtecha vayom hashvi'i Shabbat l'Adonai Elohecha la ta'aseh kol melacha ata umincha uvitecha avdecha va'amacha uvhemtecha v'gircha asher bisharecha ki sheshet yamim asa Adonai et hashamayim ve'et haaretz et hayom ve'et kol asher bam vayanach bayom hashvi'i al ken be'erach Adonai et yom hashabbat vayekadshehu.
Please be seated. Coming over here.
Baruch atah
Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher natan lanu Torat emet v'chayei olam natan b'toheinu Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen. So great. Okay, you go back.
fourth and final aliyah we call to the Torah, Kira. Tamod, 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 Bachurak, Bata Mitzvah, Darabat Avraham, Chazak, Chazak, Venit Chazek.
Baruch et Adonai Havarach.
Baruch Adonai Havarach Le'olam Va'ed.
Baruch Adonai Havarach Le'olam Va'ed. Baruch Ata Adonai Eloheinu Melech Haolam Asher Bachar Banu Mikol Ha'amim V'natan Lanu et Torato. Baruch Ata Adonai Noten HaTorah.
Amen.
Kabed et avicha ve'et imecha למען יאריכון ימיך על האדמה אשר אדוני אלוהיך נותן לך לא תצח לא תנף לא תגנוב לא תענה בך את שקר לא תחמוד בית רעך לא תחמוד אשת רעך ועבדו ואמתו ושורו והמורו וכל אשר לרעך.
I'm going to take that.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher natan lanu Torat emet v'hayei olam nata b'tochenu. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen. I'm going to take this and put it here. And I'm going to have Mom and Dad stand right against the wall. Stand right in front of you. Mom, you did it. In a minute, I'm going to hold up the Torah so you can see what was read. There are 3 columns open. The right-hand column, you'll see words just going like this all the way back and forth. That's the lead up to the 10 Commandments. The middle section, the top third, is the 10 Commandments, maybe the top half. And you'll see about a third of the way down, there's some words and then space and some words and space, word, space. And that, all the way on the left-hand side of that middle column, there's the word lo 1, 2, 3, 4 times. Lo, which is part of 5 things. Don't murder, don't steal, don't covet your neighbor's things, and so on and so forth. And these are the commandments that I'm not so sure they should go in public property, and they're not the only important laws in Torah in the Bible, but they're ones that help guide us and to live the lives we should. So to help us dress the Torah and then put it away, we invite up the brother, the next bar mitzvah in a couple of years. Please rise as we give honor to the Torah.
וזאת התורה אשר שם משה לפני בני ישראל על פי אדוני ביד משה. וזאת התורה אשר שם משה וזאת התורה וזאת התורה אשר שם משה וזאת התורה לפני בני ישראל וזאת התורה על פי אדוני ביד משה וזאת התורה. שלום 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 עץ חיים היא למחזיקים בה ותומך מאושר. עץ חיים היא למחזיקים בה ותומך מאושר. שלום 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 שלום
Kira, you've been such a blessing since the day you were born. I could talk about how smart, funny, talented, and sweet you are. But without diminishing all those other wonderful Kira attributes, I think your most remarkable quality is that you are a truly good person. It brings to mind the idea of Tikkun Olam, the Jewish mandate to heal the world. Kira, you did this with your Mitzvah project of cleaning up Malibu Beach, but you also embody this principle in so many small ways every single day. As a child, you wanted me to relocate spiders out of our house rather than kill them, and you rescued many a lizard from drowning in our pool. When we found a small, injured bird in the backyard, you were so upset that we had to derail our whole day and find an animal shelter that could take a mourning dove with a broken wing. When you kept seeing the same homeless man at the same freeway off-ramp each afternoon, you insisted that we give him money and a pear that you saved from your lunch. We did that every other day for weeks. And more recently, you were faced with a common middle school dilemma, and you chose to do the hard thing because it was the right thing. There was a girl at school who was argumentative and had anger issues, and although you understood why people didn't like her, on several occasions you stood up for her, even though it was the unpopular thing to do, and even though you risked alienating your friends. I even remember you bursting into tears because you empathized with this kid that you hardly knew. I could not be prouder of you. You have such a strong moral compass, and, if given a choice, will always do the right thing. Although people might associate Tikkun Olam with the big social justice projects, I feel like the small things you do every day, Kira, can heal the world. One dove, one homeless person, and one middle school girl at a time. I like to think I'm a good role model for you. But honestly, honey, sometimes in this relationship, it's the other way around. I think, what would Kira do in this situation? I'm so proud of the person you are and the woman you are becoming. I love you, sweet Kira.
I wish you wouldn't make me cry. I have a really ugly crying face.
Never.
What makeup? Everybody better be prepared, because I'm not. Things. Kira, when you were a toddler, one of your favorite picture books was about David and Goliath. It was so painful for me to read, compared to the Mo Willems Piggy and Elephant books, that I often pretended to lose it. But you, so curious, so sensitive, so literate, always requested it. Maybe it's because it's the quintessential Jewish story about being the underdog. Maybe it's because you got it at the dollar store. All I know is that you have a brave and tenacious side like our ancestors. You've parasailed and ziplined. You starred in the school play. You've gone out so far in the ocean by yourself that you had to be brought back by a lifeguard. And you've taken on the monumental task of learning to read, memorize, and sing in Hebrew, a language that neither you nor anyone in our family speaks. It's a rite of passage that I went through in 1985 and my father went through in 1958. And since I can't mention my dad without crying, I will, Jesus. Sorry, wrong place. Yeah, I will simply end on saying that both my dad and I are very proud of you for carrying on this Jewish tradition. I love you.
We're now going to clean up a little bit. Kira is now going to share her Dvar Torah, words of Torah and of meaning to share. Thank you. Words of Torah and what this all means to her.
Sorry, does she need her stage?
She's got it right here. We've got it. No, we're good.
Yeah, okay. Can I just say, first of all, that this speech was a lot funnier when I wrote it, but someone told me it was too long, and we had to cut out the unnecessary bits. So, sorry. Okay. Shabbat Shalom. Hello, my name is Kira Katz. This day is about my Jewish identity, but I am here to demonstrate that I am so much more than that. I am a 7th grader at AU Wright. My favorite subject is English. I love to write. I'm currently working on one novel. I finished one this morning. As a result of my writing endeavors, I've developed a love for reading unparalleled by all. I especially enjoy the classics like Peter Pan, Alice in Wonderland, A Little Princess, all favorites of mine. Naturally, my favorite shop is Barnes & Noble's, which anyone who has ever gone to the Commons with me can tell you. Separate from my reading and writing goals, I'm also an active member of Yearbook. It's by far the best elective my school has to offer, and I've enjoyed it even more than I previously thought I would. I also adore the 80s. Despite its questionable fashion choices, I stand by the fact that its music was by far the best. I've met many people over the years who agree with me. Some are adults. Most are adults. All were adults. But since adults control my bedtime, I found it's best to agree with them. I also happen to love animals, mainly dogs. I even wanted my Mitzvah project to be volunteering with dogs, but apparently 12-year-olds aren't mature enough to take care of animals. Whatever, at least I'm mature enough to take care of my dog, even though my dad is the one who actually does that. My favorite hobby is acting. In the future, I either want to be an author, actress, or both. Yes, I know that those are two of the hardest jobs to be good at in LA, but if you could save your life advice until after the ceremony, I'd be extremely grateful. I've wanted to be an actress ever since I can remember. I've been in 10 school plays. My favorite show I've ever been in was Aladdin, where I played one of Aladdin's best friends. My brother was in the same play and we did it together, which was really fun. I joined Ora Mi in 4th grade, and it became my temple. First, it was over Zoom, and I hated it. I mean, everything is worse on Zoom, but this was seriously bad. I felt for sure I would hate coming in person when quarantine was over. However, to my surprise, I loved it. For 2 years, I spent 2 hours a week going to Hebrew school with my friends Mia, Etty, and Layla. As my bat mitzvah started to loom over me, I switched to Zooms with Diane and Cantor Kyle and began to memorize my prayers. From there, I started going to Macomb, which I love, and, even more recently, I began my lessons with Rabbi Lana, where I wrote this speech and learned how heavy a Torah actually is. My favorite memory from my many years with Ora Mi is being with my friends at Macomb, mainly because we laugh a lot. In fact, there's rarely a time when I'm at Macomb and I'm not smiling. My parents really wanted me to have a bat mitzvah. They knew from the moment I was born that they wanted to raise me as a Jew. My dad thought it was very important for me to have a Jewish identity. Though we are not the most religious Jews in the world, we still identify as Jewish. We go to temple for holidays, we light the menorah on Hanukkah, and we gather together every year to have a tasty Passover Seder. When my parents first began to think about my bat mitzvah, they originally wanted to do it in Israel. It sounded fun. I got to go on a trip with my family, and I was simultaneously becoming a woman. However, that also meant that I didn't get a party, and obviously we can't have that. It's a giant party held in my honor with all my friends and my family coming to celebrate me. That's like the dream come true. Unfortunately for my dad, I am a giant narcissist, and I couldn't resist all the attention. So we changed tactics with only 4 months to plan and execute. As my bat mitzvah grew closer and closer, I became more and more anxious about my Hebrew. I felt like I didn't have enough time, but Diane and Cantor Kyle were prepared. They taught me everything I needed to know, and since I have a knack for languages, I was able to pick it up in time. Now I'm just excited. I know that this is an important coming-of-age ceremony, and I want to own it, which I did. Without a doubt, my greatest challenge yet has been learning new prayers. At first, I thought learning all these prayers wouldn't be worth it, but then I started to get the hang of it. I always thought Hebrew school would be a chore for me, something I needed to just get over with. But in recent months, I found myself having more and more fun with my lessons. I bonded with Diane and Cantor Kyle, my Hebrew instructors. I grew my relationship with Layla, Etty, and Mia, my Jewish friends. I even had fun learning my prayers. And with that fun, a sense of pride grew. I impressed my parents by reciting my prayers for them. I even learned a few Hebrew words. Ani rotza iprom bevakasha. That is a very old and sacred term in the Hebrew language. That means, may I please have a pencil? That's the only part of Hebrew I know. All in all, Hebrew has brought me nothing but joy, and I'm happy that I'm a part of this Jewish family, and now I even know how to read and chant Torah. Speaking of which, let me tell you about that. My Torah portion is Yitro. Not only is it one of only 3 Torah portions named after a person, but the man it is named after is not even Jewish. Yitro was Moses' father-in-law, and he is actually one of the most important people in Jewish history. Yitro's main significance is that he gave Moses extremely important advice, which led him to be a great leader. He explained that a leader must not lead alone. He must have advisors, friends, assistants, and supporters, all willing to help him if he needs it. A good leader can rule by themselves, but a great one knows when to ask for help. Each row is significant to me because I know how to recognize when I require assistance. I'm not afraid to ask for help, and I know I can confide in my parents, my brother, and my friends if need be. The core part of this Torah portion is the 10 Commandments, given to the Israelites at Mount Sinai. Just like in America, these commandments are the laws that are required to form a just society. They are essential to living a good life. At this event of divine revelation, which I didn't write, by the way, I don't know what that means, God is speaking directly to Moses and explains through him what the people should do. It is very straightforward. There are no loopholes and no need to guess. The commandments are very explicit. The most important commandments to me are: do not murder or injure. The Jewish people are peaceful. We don't start a fight. Do not steal. We are trying to build a paradise, a safe space. Do not worship any idols. Our God is one God. We don't need idols or anything else to worship or demonstrate our belief. It also demonstrates one's faith. As for mine, I feel it is very controversial. I want to believe in God, but I am also an agnostic. It changes for me. My belief is very fluid. However, I'm closer to believing in God than not. If I were to believe, I imagine God up in the sky smiling down at me for my belief. For my Mitzvah project, I did a beach cleanup with my friend Mia. One day, my mom packed a bunch of trash bags and gloves into the car and we drove to the beach. I wasn't sure if there would be a lot of trash or if the weather would be ideal, but when we went, I had a blast and it came back 4 more times. During those trips, I picked up over 300 pieces of trash from beaches all over the East Coast. That might have been, exaggerated a little bit. I was able to help my community, and I got to do it at my favorite place in the world. I was worried at first about doing a Mitzvah project, but it turned out to be one of the most gratifying things I've ever done. There are a lot of people who helped me to reach this moment, and I want to thank all of them. Memes. Thank you for being the kindest, most supportive person I've ever met. You are my friend and my role model, and I love you more than anything. Dad, thank you for being the smartest and self-proclaimed funniest person to ever live. You are my editor, my friend, my audience, but most importantly, my dad, and I love you. Zach, on the outside, you're the typical annoying little brother in the movies, but you have a sweeter side. You're kind, funny, and smart, and basically my best friend, and I hope we stay this close forever. To my many grandparents, you are all amazing people. You love me unconditionally, and you give me a reason to brag about how I have 5 grandmas. I love you guys to the moon and back. To my aunt, uncle, and cousins, thank you for coming from all across the country to see me chant gibberish in a language you don't understand. I'm so honored you would do this for me, and I love seeing you guys at the family reunions. To my friends, Mia, Etty, Layla, and Sierra, thank you, and Miley. Sorry, I didn't know you were coming, so I'm just adding that in. I've known some of you since kindergarten, while others I've met more recently. Either way, I cherish you all, and I'm so grateful you guys are here today. Rabbi Paul, I thank you for being with me throughout my entire time at Orami. In recent weeks, you've helped me and my parents plan the perfect bat mitzvah, and I'm endlessly grateful. Cantor Kyle, you go the extra mile in our meetings and give me extra musical homework ever since I told you that I love the 80s. I always look forward to Zooms with you. Diane, I improved so much while working with you, and I never would have been able to do this without you. Rabbi Lana, I thank you for letting me into your office, treating me to snacks and drinks, and helping me write this admittedly very long speech. I'm so grateful. Thank you all for coming and celebrating me today. I'm so honored you would do this for me and be here on my special day. Shabbat Shalom.
Simen tov, mazel tov, simen tov, mazel tov, simen tov, mazel tov, simen tov, Yehelanu, ulechol Yisrael.
Wow. How was that?
I'm so glad it's over.
That was the dress rehearsal. No, I'm kidding. You did wonderfully. You chanted Torah so beautifully. You led us in the service with such confidence, and you taught us some important things about yourself and about our world in your Dvar Torah. And now you're about mitzvah. And we have a number of gifts for you. From our Hinenu Caring Community Committee, we have a mezuzah. It goes on your door, and it angles in. You have to get the cloth, the scroll from Shalom House or wherever. But as you put it on your door angling in, it's to remind the people who live inside, meaning you, that our way of living is to be ethical, moral, truthful, caring, and compassionate. It's a reminder for you so when you go out into the world, you have that and you hold on to that with you. We have some certificates, a tu'udat bat mitzvah that says you're bat mitzvah here at Orami. We have for you a book. A book is like a web page, but it's like real. It's called Israel Matters, Understand the Past and Look to the Future. What's going on in the Mideast is so painful and so terrible. All people dying on both sides, and we mourn every death and every loss of life and every injury. But to understand what's going on there, you got to understand the past. That'll give you an opportunity to look to the future. So at some point, you'll take a look through this and it'll give you some important context. And since you're reading about it, you should get over to see it. So NIFTY, the North American Federation of Temple Youth, and the Union of American Hebrew Congregations, our national organization, have for you a gift certificate good for $3,250 towards a trip to Israel if you do it during one of your high school summers. Most people are waiting till they go to college for birthright, but this is a longer program and it's fantastic. And there's also scholarship money from the temple and federation to do it if you want to do that. So hold on to this. Make sure your parents take that. And we have, lastly, LOMPTI, which is our high school youth group, 9th through 12th grade. They're a bunch of really cool kids, and they heard that you're really cool too, and they want to get to know you. So when you get into 9th grade, this will get you one free youth group event to go join them and hang out with them and enjoy. So I'm going to put these together because Cantor Kyle has some words for you too.
So I have to let you all know that when Kira and I rehearsed on Thursday, this girl was so nervous. She was so anxious. When she arrived, she forgot a whole bunch of stuff and told me that the only thing she ate all day were a couple almonds. And we get started and we're going through it, and it was like have you ever used a flashlight that was really low on batteries and it's like really dim? And that's kind of what it was like. And we got to the Ve'ah after like 2 prayers in, and she just looks at me, she says, "I'm so hungry, can I have something to eat?" I said, "Of course." So we went into the snack closet, got some pretzels and some Cheez-Its, and then bright shiny object all over again, and we blew through it, and she did fine. But we got to the tour, and she was so anxious and so nervous, and we had a little pep talk. We were able to get through it, and I have to tell you folks, she did better today than I think I've ever heard her do in any of our lessons and any of our at the rehearsal. And I'm not just saying that. Like, I hope you know that like the stuff that like we worked on where I was like, I have to support her on this, she might miss this again. You didn't. Like, this is the best you've ever done. I mean, you want to talk about like rising to the occasion. You want to talk about just like, 1 second left on the clock tie game and just like hitting the game winner. I mean, unbelievable, Kira. I just can't express like how proud I am. I mean, I was rooting for you the whole time and a little nervous, like, she gonna get that, and you nailed it. I mean, all that hard work, all of the energy and the effort that you put in, I mean, it just paid off. You were spectacular. That aside, which is awesome, I have to say, as you said, I mean, one of my favorite parts of working with Kira, as you're all probably aware, if you're not, you will be at the party. This girl loves the 80s. I would say, I'm actually surprised you were able to get stuff done, because we would spend at least 5 to 10 of the 30 minutes that we had together, like literally just talking about the 80s, books and pets and stuff too, but mostly just the 80s. And that actually was like a really cool thing for me, because on top of the regular homework, practice this prayer, learn this aliyah. And then she's like, "Don't forget my secular homework." I was like, yes, of course, and try to find, and let me tell you, trying to find something from the 80s that she had not heard of, that was a task for me. I have to do research ahead of time, being like, okay, here are the 6 songs. I'm hoping she hasn't heard of some of these, but it was awesome. You were able to give me the gift of being able to revisit some older music that I like as well. And then to be able to tag team with Mia, who also loves 80s. It was just awesome to be able to create that connection. Jewishly, but also musically, which I love. So for the gift that you've given all of your friends and family in the congregation, for the gift that you've given me, I want to pay a very special tribute to you. A song that was written in 1990, but we'll round down and say it was written in the 80s. A song that my dad sang to me at my bar mitzvah. It's called Shema B'ni Shim Ibiti. Listen, my son. Listen, my daughter.
Shema B'ni, take these wings to fly with. Shim EBT, with these roots you will grow. This is my promise, this is my blessing. You are the promise, and you are the blessing. Shema B'ni, Shim EBT. God's children come into the shelter, a place of peace, a house of prayer, a center of learning, of justice, of giving, where everyone's loved and where everyone cares. Shema B'ni, Shim EBT. Ufros aleinu, ufros aleinu, ufros aleinu, sukat shlomecha. A mother calms the cry for infants. A young boy reads and becomes a man. Vows are exchanged as two hearts become one. A daughter returns and reads Kaddish again. Shema B'ni, Shim EBT. So you shall fly on wings of eagles. You shall grow like a sturdy tree. This is my promise, this is my blessing. You are the promise, and you are the blessing. Shema B'ni, Shim EBT.
In a moment, I'm going to take our bat mitzvah before the ark and share some private words with Kira. During that time, I want you to imagine that you were standing in my shoes. What words of blessing or praise would you want to share with the bat mitzvah? I know that later on during the weekend, you'll each find a moment to pull her and her parents aside to share that, to shep nachas, to share those words of joy and of praise. And those of you who are streaming in, feel free to drop in the chat some words of blessing that we'll make sure to pass on also. So sit back, listen as Cantor Kyle sings L'Dor V'Dor about passing our values from generation to generation as we have this moment of blessing.
We are gifts and we are blessings. We are history in song. We are hope and we are healing. We are learning to be strong. We are words and we are stories. We are pictures of the past. We are carriers of wisdom, not the first and not the last. L'dor v'dor nagid godlecha. L'dor v'dor we protect this chain from generation to generation. L'dor v'dor these lips will praise your name. Looking back on the journey that we carry in our heart, from the shadow of the mountain to the waters that would part, we are blessed, we are holy, we are children of your way, and the words that bring us meaning, we will have the strength to say. Ledor vador nagid God lecha, Ledor vador we protect this chain. From generation to generation, Ledor vador, these lips will praise your name. Ledor vador nagid God lecha, Ledor vador we protect this chain. From generation to generation, Ledor vador, these lips will praise your name.
In a moment, Cantor Kyle and I will bless Kira with words from Torah, Birkat Kohanim, the priestly benediction. Words maybe were said at a baby name if you had one. Words that will say if you continue the confirmation. Maybe if you stand under a chuppah for a wedding, you could say them on Friday nights to your own babies, but not for a long, long time. Words of Torah.
Yivarechecha Adonai ve'yishmerecha.
May God bless you and watch over you.
Yair Adonai panav elecha v'chuneka.
May God shine upon you and be very, very good unto you.
Yisa Adonai panav elecha ve'asem lecha shalom.
May God bless you with the most precious of blessings. Peace in our world, peace in our community, peace in our homes and our families, and peace in your heart.
Amen.
Mazel tov, we're proud of you. Let me invite you to turn your prayer books to page 294. Whenever we get together, we take a moment to remember our loved ones who are no longer with us. The memory of them can still warm us. Their love can still inspire us. Some of you here are remembering your loved ones during this time of Kaddish. This is our tradition. I'll bring my hand around the room. As I pass by where you're seated, feel free to mention their name and relationship to you loud, like my Uncle Frank, my friend Sophie. So tonight we are remembering. May their memories be for blessing. If you are able, we invite you to please rise as together on page 294 we recite the words of Kaddish. Yitgadal v'yitgadash shemei rabbah be'alma divera chirutei v'yamlich malchutei b'chayechon u'v'yomechon u'v'chayei d'chol beit Yisrael ba'agala v'zman kariv v'imru amen. Yehei Shmei Rabba Mevorach Leolam Ulumei Amaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitramam v'yitnaseh v'yithadar v'yitalev v'yitalal Shmei d'Kudusha Brichu. Le'ela min kol berchata v'shirata tushbachata v'nechamata damiran be'alma v'imru amen. Yehei Shlama Rabba min Shemaya V'chayim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav, hu ya'aseh shalom, aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. May the one who makes peace in the high heavens bring peace to us, to all Israel and all the world, as we say together. Amen.
Oseh shalom b'mromav, hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'imru amen. Yaseh shalom shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh shalom shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Yisrael.
And so don't anyone move yet. But in a minute, we're going to be leaving here, and we're going to go to the Woodland Hills Country Club for a wonderful celebration of the 1980s. Yeah. And for young people who came without... There's only one. Okay, we know where you are, and we got you set. So everybody else, go have a great time, a wonderful evening. Celebrate this night to the fullest. And Shavua Tov, may it be a great week. Thank you for being with us. Awesome.